We were pretty famous back in high school.
Trust us. Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous.
Those are some great settings.
Yeah. Sure.
I know. They're mine. They're my settings. Greetings, everyone. Welcome into High School Famous. Please, students, open your textbooks to page 178. This day, we're going to be talking about Jet Li movies. And the movies he's been in. He started off in 1982 in the Shaolin Temple. In 1984, Kids from Shaolin.
Are you just going to list every movie he's been in?
1986, who knows? Martial Arts of Shaolin. I'm seeing a theme here. 1988, Born to Defense. 1989, Dragon Fight. He had a strong decade, those 80s. 1991, Once Upon a Time in China. 1992, Swordsman 2.
Oh, what happened to Swordsman?
He just must not have been in Swordsman 1.
I'm sure that's not what it was called.
You think it was just called Swordsman?
I would imagine.
Perhaps. 1992. Oh, hold on. 92 is
It's
crazy.
pretty presumptuous. It's pretty presumptuous to name a movie something one. You have to be pretty sure of yourself.
Well, the original was originally called The Great Swordsman.
Okay.
And then once they came out with Swordsman 2, they changed it to Swordsman 1.
Oh.
92, we're going to see, is a strong year for Mr. Lee. We start off with Swordsman 2. Then we go to Once Upon a Time in China 2. Then we go to The Master. And then we go to Once Upon a Time in China 3. All
back to back.
4 of those movies were released in 1992.
It's crazy.
93, another banger year for Mr. Jet Li. The Legend, Last Hero in China. The Legend of Fong Sai Yuk 2. Tai Chi Master. Kung Fu Cult Master. All in 1993.
Wow.
5 movies that year.
It's crazy.
94, we slowed down a bit. Maybe he took the time to have a family or something. The New Legend of Shaolin. The Bodyguard from Beijing. And Fist of Legend. First thought to be a porno. Turns out it wasn't. All right, 1995. We're going to keep going. My Father is a Hero. And High Risk. Quiet year for Mr. Lee. 1996. Right. Dr. Y in the Scripture with No Words. And Black Mask. Black Mask, this movie cover is familiar to me.
There you go.
1997, one single movie. Once Upon a Time in China and America.
Oh.
Right? So he went off the Once Upon a Time in China numerical iterations. Yeah. He's now, the 4th installment is Once Upon a Time in China and America.
It's probably a reboot.
You think so?
No.
Let's see. In the first movies, he played a character named Wong Fei Hung. And that is also the character he plays in Once Upon a Time in China and America.
Okay.
All right, 1998, Hitman, Lethal Weapon 4. 1999, he took a break. Okay. Oh, sorry, I skipped. 1999, he took a break. No movies released.
Oh, wow.
The year 2000, we come off strong with Romeo Must Die.
Right.
And Aaliyah, Try Again, music video.
Oh, yeah. Because that song was for the movie Romeo Must Die.
Very good.
Aaliyah
Makes perfect sense.
In that movie.
He is in that video, Jet Li, uncredited.
Oh.
2001, we have Kiss of the Dragon, and we have The One.
There you go.
Yep. 2002 is Hero. 2003, we go with Cradle to the Grave and Rise to Honor. 2005, one movie, Unleashed. 2006, single movie, Fearless. 2007, War. 2007 also saw The Warlords.
Oh, unrelated.
Yeah, completely. Different characters, everything. 2008, we have The Forbidden Kingdom. 2008, we also have The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Oh.
Not to be confused with The Mummy, something or other Scorpion King.
I believe that came out before this one.
Yes.
I believe this was like this is the third in the trilogy that probably had nothing to do with the first film or second film.
Now we have 2009, Jet Li, public advertising for Earthquake Zone.
That's listed on his IMDb.
It is. He's listed as video ambassador.
Oh, what?
in that video? Okay. 2009, The Founding of a Republic. 2010, Ocean Heaven, The Expendables. And then we go on to 2011 with The Sorcerer and the White Snake. We have Flying Swords of Dragon Gate. And then in 2012, The Expendables 2.
Oh.
2013, Bridges of Fury. 2014, The Expendables 3.
Wow.
Let me check those, if he's the same character.
I would imagine so.
Yin Yang, and Yin Yang.
What a
great name.
Yeah.
Great name for an animation person.
Who signed off on that?
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, wasn't Stallone kind of the big pusher for those movies?
Yeah.
2016, League of Gods. 2017, On That Night While We Dream. And 2020, what is it?
How should I know?
He played the Emperor in the live-action Disney's Mulan.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
That is what we have for Jet Li Films, and I am confident in saying that I have not seen a single one of these movies.
You've never seen a fucking Jet Li movie?
I don't recognize any of these movies.
Blows my mind.
I've not seen a single Jet Li film. Perhaps I should start off with 2009's Jet Li public advertising for Earthquake Zone.
I mean, it's probably the shortest.
It probably is.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can't even click on it to get more information. Oh, I can actually. Do we have a runtime? Top cast, Jet Li, ambassador.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Yep. No runtime I can find so far.
Well,
Official site, YouTube. Language is Mandarin. It's in 1.33.
I'm so happy you listed all these movies because it seems like completely out of nowhere to anybody.
Well, it is. I wanted this episode to hit the ground running at a pace that is equal to or greater than that of Mr. Jet Li himself when it comes to his martial arts. Sorry,
I've seen several of those movies.
It seems that you have seen more movies than I have in your lifetime.
That is for sure.
So how is it a surprise that?
And I also I was super into like kung fu movies and stuff. Too.
Yeah, I can probably count on one hand how many Jackie Chan movies I've even seen.
Well, I can definitely count on one hand how many Jackie Chan movies I've seen, but then I can also additionally count on another hand.
Will that fulfill the full amount of Jackie Chan movies you've seen, or will you have to resort to switching to toes?
Possibly.
Or maybe even like a hash system on a piece of paper?
Or other people's hands. I can
you
use
want to ring
additional
in some other people to try to help with your counting? So how many people? Let's take a guess. Let's say it's hands only. Right. You're not switching to feet, eyes, ears. You're just using someone's fingers. You need to get what? 3 people involved?
For Jackie Chan specific movies?
For Jackie Chan, movies with Jackie Chan in them.
At most, just me and another person.
So you think at most you've seen 20?
We would have to list all of Jackie Chan's movies also, which do not start to do. For me to understand how many, because this episode's not going to be you just reading off years and titles of movies that somebody's been in.
But it's free content, people. What do you want?
They can look
what
it
do you
up
want?
themselves.
We don't charge you for the show.
Yeah, but we still want people to listen.
So just before we started, I got a random text. This happens to me. I'm not sure why. A random text from some random phone number where they pretend to know me, or at least pretend to.
Oh, dude, I love those. I get them all the time.
Do you really?
Yeah, I reply. I chat for a while.
Oh, well, so let's see what we got so far. Just out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Have you already finished your dinner?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, not yet. I said, not yet, you. And this person said, I already have. Rosie, are you busy? I'm not sure if they're declaring that they are Rosie or they're asking, addressing me as Rosie.
I'm assuming they're addressing you as Rosie, but it almost sounds like they could also just be expressing their mood.
Yeah, I'm feeling Rosie right now. Are you busy? Because I'm Rosie. Yeah, no, I said, got a mouthful of food. Now nice. A mouthful of Sunny D. And then they replied with, what do you mean? And so that's where we are so far. So should we continue on with this conversation while we're on the air?
Of course we should.
Yeah.
Of course we should. We should see where this goes.
So I'm just going to say,
I should have saved some of them that I've had because I've had some pretty good ones.
You asked if I was finished with dinner. I am not. I am currently eating it. We'll see what we get back. In the meantime, while we wait for that, I'll cover this week's dad joke because let's get that out of the way. We all love this. I wrote a book on how to fall down the stairs. It's a step-by-step guide.
Nice.
Well,
Sean.
Yes, Matt?
Dad jokes are fine and great, but have you heard a mom joke?
I don't know. I don't think I have. I think I've been offered mom jokes and refused to listen to them, declaring them inferior.
Great. Would you like to hear a mom joke?
Well,
it took too long.
Okay. Let's see. Well, before we get into that, we've got a response already.
Oh,
they
nice.
said, okay, have you finished? I will say, just finishing my Sunny D. Gonna move on to dessert next.
Any recommendations?
Any good recommendations? ?
Nice.
So we'll see what progresses here.
Right.
During that time, I was able to come to a conclusion that yes, man, I would like to hear at least one mom joke. That way, I can either reinforce my opinions on them, or they'll be squashed. Maybe these will be quite superior to dad jokes.
Okay. Here's one, a random one that I just grabbed.
Oh, good.
A mother said to her son, "Look at that kid over there. He's not misbehaving." The son replied, "Maybe he has good parents then."
Ooh. Now, are jokes supposed to make you laugh?
Yeah, I mean, I think by basic definition, yes.
Not sure if that one really hit the mark.
When was the last time I laughed at a single one of your dad jokes?
I don't think you ever have. So I guess they're both kind of neck and neck so far. Dad and mom
There
jokes.
You go. I mean, to be fair, we haven't really done a lot of mom jokes.
True. I wonder if there are a series of just parent jokes.
Maybe.
Here's a question. That joke right there, I guess none of the dad jokes are even easily like what makes it a mom joke versus a dad joke?
I'm assuming according to this, it's just when so a dad joke is just any stupid joke, right? It's just a dumb joke like a dad would say. It doesn't have to be dad specific, but it seems like a mom joke is much more mom specific.
Okay. I mean, but that joke itself,
the jokes I've been looking at here.
That joke itself, you could have just added, swapped it with dad and it would have been the same.
Easily.
Joke. Easily.
I'm pretty sure most of these are probably going to be that. Except for this one that says, daughter says, "Mom, I need my personal space." And then mom says, "You came out of my personal space."
Oh, yeah, that's mom joke all the way.
It's not even a joke.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Is this called mom facts? Foxy mom facts? Hot, I walked in on my stepmom facts?
You want to know what the definition of mother is?
I would love to know that because I don't already.
Mother, it's a noun, in case you weren't aware.
Mm-hmm.
One person who does the work of 20 for free. Classic. Classic definition right there of a mom.
I mean, I do remember reading that now that you mention it in several dictionaries throughout my life. So I don't argue this mom's statement toward their child or whoever they're talking to. Maybe they're talking to some like dog mom that's like, it's just like having kids.
What?
Some people that just have dogs will like to compare them to having they'll call them their fur babies.
Yeah.
And they'll like to think it's similar to having an actual child with the amount of work involved with taking care of a child. They seem to think that caring for a dog is nearly the same amount, if not the same amount of work.
Yeah, I know what it's like to raise a kid. I have dogs.
They are delusional.
You know, because with a kid, you know how you just pour the kid's food into a bowl on the floor and they'll just eat it kind of whenever they're hungry throughout the day?
I don't do that because I'm
you know
not.
How you take your kids outside to poop and pee?
Look, I pour the food in when the bowl is up on the counter because it's less likely that I will make a mess. Then I set the bowl onto the floor,
right,
for my son to eat out of.
Right.
Look, I've asked him. He says he prefers it this way. Yes, sir. It's the only thing he knows because I've never let him eat at a table. But he says he's fine with it.
Yeah, I mean,
the thing is, if at a very young age, if you introduce them to the idea of eating at a table and then you make them switch to eating off of the floor, they're going to complain. But if you start from the jump where the kid is eating off the floor, then they're not going to know any different and they're not going to complain about it. This is simple, basic parenting, everyone.
I mean, I don't even have kids. I have cats, so I mean, it's similar, but I don't have kids. But I know what it's. I get it. I get what you're saying. I completely understand. Yeah,
I agree. Cat owning way more work than dog owning.
Oh, it's so hard, dude. Oh, you have to empty the litter box.
Well, how is that different from changing a diaper?
Oh, exactly.
You know, a dog, especially if you own your own house and have your own yard, you don't have to pick up after your dog out in the yard. You can leave it out there if you want to.
Yeah, it's true.
But guess what? It's cruel and unusual to never change your kid's diaper and just let it just get more full and more full and more full until it starts to spew out the sides.
No, that's why you just let your kids out the back door and let them poop in the yard.
Yeah. But I just have to make sure they don't go near or in their food dishes that are out in the yard as well. Because guess what? Then they're eating that for dinner.
Yeah.
Teach them a lesson.
And my yard's not fenced in, but I have an invisible fencing. And my kid wears the shock collar.
He does.
So he won't leave the yard. It's all good.
And so my kid has the shock collar and also has one of those collars that will shock if he barks.
Right.
Because I don't need the neighborhood. I don't need the neighbors complaining about the noise.
Well, of course not.
Because you know what he used to do? He used to try to go outside the invisible fencing area, get shocked by the collar, and then cry. So I had to put a stop to the crying with the shock collar. I know.
What a little baby stupid bitch.
And you got to brush their backs, give them flea and tick topical.
Say a heartworm. Give them
heartworm pills. You got to clip their nails, but not try to get all the way down to the quick.
Bring him in to get his teeth cleaned every 6 months or so.
Yeah, or if you're me, 12 years.
Get his nails clipped.
I said that already.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Get him neutered.
Get him neutered every
you don't
year.
Want him out there making other little kids.
I don't need him breeding.
With the other feral kids of the
city. Yeah. We don't need when it's mating season for them all to be running around outside.
Oh, dude, and he gets when he gets in heat.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In heat. Is it just females that get in heat?
Females go in heat. Males will just fuck all year round.
Right, but we're talking about a male child, so in heat is not. How dare you?
That's just there's constantly heat.
It's always hot.
It's
like as though it were a rocket.
It's like Ecuador down there.
It's like a rocket taking off. With all the heat.
Yeah, like a rocket that
some sort of color,
maybe red in color,
because of all the heat.
If I were to choose a random color, because it's so hot.
Yeah, because of all the heat. Heat is represented by red until you get hotter than the red heat, and then it's other colors of heat.
It's like blue and then white.
Yeah, white is like the hottest of heat, I think. And then therefore the...
Right, ladies?
Right, yeah. Wait, what? Oh, boy.
Doesn't get any hotter than this, right?
Right. Well, you got red and white going on.
I got all temperatures of heat going
on
in me right now.
You got all ranges of heat.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, I don't know, I guess my beard is hotter than my face. Because my beard is whiter than my face. Hey, yeah. That's a pickup line if I ever heard one. Hey, ladies.
Need somewhere warm to sit?
As you can tell visibly by my physical appearance, my beard is much hotter than my face. Would you like to have a seat? On this bar stool next to me. That's what I clearly mean.
I just thought like the grossest thing to like offer somebody a ride and tell them you have heated seats, and then right when they go to sit down, you like lay down across the seat. I don't know. That's where my mind went. What did the mommy spider say to the baby spider?
Get your 8 legs in here and clean up your room.
No, you spend too much time on the web.
Oh, the internet web.
Mm-hmm.
How does it? Does the spider know how to use? Does the spider know how to access a browser and type?
I honestly don't think they have. They would be able to put enough pressure down on the keys to be able to type.
Wouldn't it be awesome if spiders had fingers at the end of each of their legs, and then they could they could be typing with, let's say they're just typing with the front 4 legs, and so all the fingers on those 4 legs, it'd be like twice as many fingers as we use. That would not be as crazy as I was initially thinking.
No, I was thinking that they could, if they had fingers on all 8 legs, then they could probably type on like 4 different computers at the same time.
And then after so many years, they would end up typing the world's greatest novel.
Yeah, I think if you give something enough time, sure.
You know how they call very accomplished and talented drummers? They'll often call them like the octopus.
Yes.
Because it seems like they have 8 arms. I would argue that we should switch that over to the spider. And that is because an octopus lives underwater and would be very worthless above water to play the drums. And it'd be silly to play the drums underwater because the sound would be so muffled.
Yeah, but spiders have 8 legs.
So?
Octopus have 8 arms.
Yes.
It's in a reference to having 8 arms.
Yeah,
if you call somebody a spider, that would be like they would be really good at like running.
But a drummer,
he runs so fast, it looks like he has 8 legs.
But a drummer only uses 2 arms for drumming and 2 legs for drumming. So a spider could use 4 of the legs as legs and 4 of the other legs as arms.
I think it's a lot easier to use your arms in replacement of legs than it would be to use legs in replacement of arms. We've had a conversation where you said you could do just as much with your feet as you can do with your hands in the past.
Now, but hold on though. So obviously, if a spider only has legs,
yes,
it's not going to be able to train its arms to do those things. It'll train its legs to do those things. It's going to use what it has. It's like there are people with no arms that can play the guitar because they can only use their feet to play the guitar.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that they're like the best at it.
Well, you could. One of the spiders will be the best spider at drumming.
Well, yeah, the best spider, but he wouldn't be the best drummer.
Nobody said that. But a spider is going to be better than an octopus
at drumming.
Oh yeah.
This is the weirdest. Weirdest hill for you to die on right now because
you just have to get a small enough drum kit.
There's no way, dude. Octopus are so fucking smart and can do all sorts of crazy ass shit. I guarantee you, an octopus, if it wanted to learn how to drum or could like be taught how to drum, it would be able to do it. A spider would never. You can never teach a spider anything.
Again, there's no point in drumming underwater. It's going to sound awful. So maybe he or she... Because
octopus are never out of water.
But they can't live out of water. And how well can they use their...
forever.
How well can they use their arms? Well, what? The average song is what? 4 minutes?
Can an
octopus put on a concert? An hour and a half to 2 hour long concert out of water?
We could have a specialized tank made that has those little arm things that come out of it so that it can put its arms in those little things and then it can drum. So it could stay inside the tank and breathe.
Gotcha. Okay.
Kind of like a reverse scuba diving suit.
So you think all of that, you think that the octopus would be able to maintain its full range of motion using that type of setup?
Sure, why not?
Because there's things in the way now.
Not really. It's just a suit.
Oh, it's a suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the hell did you think I was talking about?
I wasn't listening to you.
That's what I do.
I was responding to our text person, Rosie.
No, you weren't. It seems like Rosie hasn't responded for a while.
No.
Did they respond with a dessert suggestion?
Not exactly, no. I just said any recommendations, and then they said, sounds great. And I said, what do you like to have for dessert? And then they said, I all like LOL.
Oh.
And then, like all desserts, I guess. And then I said, let's have dessert. And then they said, what are you eating? And here's where it really kicks up a notch. I said, you, hopefully.
Whoa, Sean, that's inappropriate.
Yeah. That has yet to receive a response. We will see what Rosie comes back with that one.
Man, I wish I would have saved some of the ones I've had back in the day because I had some pretty fun ones.
Yeah, same here. I've had a few over the years, and
we got to make sure we're saving those.
They make good. I like how this is happening while we're doing this, so it could be a live update.
Yeah, and lately all I've been getting is text messages from random numbers about, stuff to make sure I'm out there supporting Trump.
I am not getting any of those, and I'm glad.
I have no idea why my number got that, but I get like at least one a day, and I block the numbers every single time, but it's a different number every time with the same bullshit.
It hasn't happened in a little while, but I kept getting phone calls asking to donate to the police.
Oh, I get those all the time too.
Yeah, it hasn't happened in a while.
For a long time, I would just say, hey, I don't live in Minnesota anymore. And they're like, well, you could still donate. I'm like, no. Like, first off, if this was real, no, I still wouldn't. But now I have, and I think I did it to you once, where my phone has an option where I could have it answered by an AI thing will answer my phone for me, and it'll like speak. I've done it to you once.
Did you?
But it'll basically be like, it'll be like, this is Bixby. I'm answering the phone for blah, blah, blah. Please leave your name and any information and stuff. And then if you talk back to it, it will text it to me. It'll like come out in text form.
Okay.
And then I can respond and it'll read it back as I respond and stuff. So now anytime I get a number that I don't recognize, I just answer it with that. And then
that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, sometimes they'll start saying something, or sometimes they'll just hang up. Then I just don't have to deal with fake spam calls anymore. Because I answer every spam call I get.
I don't.
I love answering them.
I don't answer every spam call I get. It's just like, every once in a while I get suckered. I'm like, what if this is something important? Like, what if this is like an actual real phone call from a number I just don't recognize? I better answer it in case it's something I'm waiting to hear back on or something.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. The biggest tell is when you answer. I do this every time. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah,
hello? And there's that long pause before someone or something finally kicks on.
Hello.
Yeah. I am a human hoping to engage in conversation with you about Bitcoin.
Hello, fellow human.
Yes.
Sean Tattoo.
I'm glad we share our species together.
Yes.
Let us
You
rejoice.
Also like to eat ice cream and pizza.
In that order.
Do you too think it would be funny if spiders had fingers?
And could play the drums better than an octopus? I think
that would never happen.
I think if we poll the world, everyone, or the overwhelming majority, would agree.
Dude, that's not true.
Even
while you were saying it, that's not true.
I want to poll America on whether or not we think we should change the term to describe an accomplished drummer as being the spider or the human spider versus maybe even spider. Well, this to be gender specific, Spider-Man. Maybe we could switch it over.
Well, what if it's a woman?
Then it would be Spider.
Then it would be Gwen Stacy.
She's
the Gwen Stacy of drumming.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
Yes, let's pull America. America, this is a call to action.
No, it's
Would
really
you
not.
Like
because
for us to switch, what?
There's no way. Nobody's ever going to say a spider is better than octopus for describing somebody that's really good with their arms.
Look, I'll admit.
I'm going to fight you.
I will admit right here. I will admit I have not been to every concert in the world. Okay, so can we just clear that up? Can we clear that up? So I'm not stating as such, but I am not aware of any concert that has been held underwater. Every single concert I'm aware of.
You're really hung up on the water aspect of this when it has nothing to do with that whatsoever.
Look, unless, according to you, you're able to fashion some sort of suit for the octopus that, well, first of all, will frighten it, and it'll start to just panic, and because I'm not sure if you know this. Yeah, octopi can squeeze themselves into really tiny places, but they suffer from severe claustrophobia. And so covering them in some sort of water suit is going to freak them out.
Stop making
and it's going to be like, I can't go out there and perform in this suit. I'm going to lose my mind. We have a translator for the octopus, so we can tell what it's saying.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask.
Of course. So, and you know what? Sometimes, here's the one thing I will give you against to put spiders behind octopi in the world of drumming. With all those little suction cups on the arms, I guarantee you that an octopus would have a much easier time maintaining a grip on the drumsticks than a spider would. That I will give you. But spiders are able to crawl up. Spiders are able to crawl up walls and ceilings, so they definitely have
super helpful when drumming.
Super helpful with maintaining a grip on a stick, a drumstick, especially when you shrink them.
What's the biggest spider in the world?
Is it the camel spider?
Yeah, still not very big in comparison to a drum set.
Again, you mic up the drum. You'll obviously build a drum kit.
You'll also mic up the drums. Otherwise, nobody will hear him because he's not going to be able to hit very hard.
What? Anyway,
yes, you would have to mic up the drums so that everybody could hear it because the spider's not going to be able to hit the drums very hard.
Neither is the octopus. Neither is a human being performing drums at a concert. You mic up the drums. It's standard. Anyway, you would obviously build a drum kit that is suitable for the spider to play at. I mean, we can't expect a spider to play at a human-sized drum kit, nor an octopus. You might even want to space out the drums even further. For an octopus, yeah. But there are also very small octopi.
Yeah, but we're not talking about those ones. We're talking about a big octopus playing on a normal drum set.
Gotcha. So it's knocking really drums over. It's like knocking the drums over. They're crashing on the floor. The drum tech has to keep rushing out to set it up again. The concert's getting interrupted all the time. They can't even get through one whole song because of this clumsy octopus.
Sometimes it's just like
I'm right and you can't.
No, sometimes I'm just absolutely amazed at the things you will argue for.
I mean,
you take a side on something that you absolutely don't even believe.
Look,
just
what do you mean I don't
me.
believe? Listen
you
to
don't
this.
Believe this, and you know it. Don't even fake it. You can see it on your stupid, smug, shitty little face.
I washed my face.
Your human face. Your dumb, stupid human face.
Here's something that you didn't think about. So let's say you are able to fashion some sort of suit for this octopus to wear to keep himself, at least as wherever he breathes out of, submerged in water.
Okay.
An octopus, again, its natural habitat is under the sea. We learned about that in Little Mermaid.
I don't know if we learned about that specifically about octopus, though, in Little Mermaid.
Well, we saw the octopus in there, which was, guess what? Drumming. Stereotype. Typecast.
See, they're already good.
Yeah, underwater.
It's already proving a point.
Underwater.
Okay, that translates, though. I can do shit underwater. There's stuff I can do underwater that I can also do on land.
Look, the octopus is not going to be able to handle only having the resistance of air to fight against.
No, make him better.
It's going to
play faster.
Not right away. Not at the first show.
Not right away. Okay, so then there's a learning curve. Okay, cool, great.
Guess what?
Spider needs a longer learning curve than an octopus on how to play drums. Because here, look at this. The octopus already has the ability through all the animations we've seen over the years. They already know how to play the drums. Now they just have to translate that under the water to above the water. They'll just have to slow their pace down a little bit. Otherwise, they're going to play way too fast, break too many sticks, break drum heads. They'll learn to adapt.
So you think that since
octopus are great at adapting?
I've heard.
Yeah.
So you think that? Oh, wouldn't that be cool if there was a lot of cool special lighting, like laser lights and different color lighting throughout the concert? Yes, it keeps changing its color to blend in.
There you go. Another notch on making Octopus so much better at drumming and cooler and more entertaining to watch. It makes them more entertaining to watch, which means people are going to go to the shows, which means they're going to continue to perfect their abilities because they're like, look, and all these people keep coming and seeing me. I don't want to suck. I'm going to keep practicing and keep getting better at being a drummer.
But the octopus could just blend in with its surroundings and sort of disappear if it's not performing well. It's not going to use that as motivation.
But people know it's still there.
Look, there has to be some sort of example throughout human history of an animation of a spider playing the drums. I guarantee it. And that has been sent off to all the other spiders across the world to learn from. You're looking it up right now?
I'm going to look it up right now.
Spider playing drums, enter. Look at it. I see a drawing already. And look,
a drawing.
He's not even trying. Oh, here's a picture of a spider with a sombrero on and holding some maracas.
That's not a drum.
There's a PBS video on Vimeo called Drumming Spiders. And these are real spiders.
Yeah, but are they drumming on a drum set?
Look, here's a System of a Down.
Motions that look slightly like drumming.
Look, here's someone doing a drum cover of the song Spiders by System of a Down. Spiders have well, let me see if there's a drum cover for Octopus's Garden.
What? A what?
A drum cover, of course. Oh, boy. I know what you're doing. Drum cover, Octopus's Garden. I doubt this exists. Never mind. There's definitely one that exists.
Probably several.
There are several. Drums only cover. Who would want to do that? I guess people that are drummers.
Yep.
Look, there's a video of a spider doing a drum cover of Octopus's Garden. And it has
remotely true.
It has a higher rating than the octopus doing it.
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt either of those things is true.
You just have to search on DuckAGoGo, and you'll find those results.
Wow, I'm surprised you didn't say Bing. You're usually such a Bing head.
We're called Bingits.
Don't do that.
Okay. All right. So Jackie Chan started his career.
No.
Hey, let's get to some more mom jokes. Where did this come from? How did we get on this tangent about octopi and drumming and spiders?
Don't ask me.
Was there some joke about... know. Oh, because the mom spider said something about surfing the web or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you went on a fucking weird tangent.
I went on a brilliant revelation. A revelation? I'm a proud Bingit.
This isn't really a joke.
The other two weren't.
But, yeah, well, here you go then. This one says, Mommy will think about it. Narrator, Mommy never thought about it. She knew it was no all along, and just wanted everybody to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that is not a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So, Zibao Chuang Ba Guan was Jackie Chan's first film in 1980. He's listed as a producer, though. Oh, sorry.
Stop.
I'm done. That's his only movie.
We're not doing this.
You don't want me to talk about The Inspector Wears Skirts too?
I mean, if you want, I can just walk out of the room and you can just finish this episode yourself, listing Jackie Chan movies.
I don't want to. I want you to be in the room for this. I want you to watch me.
Okay, I'll take my headphones off and just look at you. Does that help? I'm not going to sit here and listen to you do this shit.
I want you to hear me, Chan.
What is this shit I'm reading? Licked a dark smear off my finger, then thought, whew, it's chocolate.
Well, they're a mommy that changes diapers, and it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities.
How's that a joke?
Look, I think mom jokes are more like, these are jokes moms will find funny because moms will understand. Whereas a dad joke is just a corny, cringy joke that anyone will like go, that wasn't funny.
This one I just read, if you take it the wrong way, is very inappropriate.
Okay.
At my age, I'm no longer a snack. I'm a Happy Meal. I come with toys and kids.
Yeah, if you just take the last line.
I'm no longer a snack. I'm a pedophile.
Gross.
Sean?
Matt?
Since you went on a ridiculous tangent, having an argument with me that nobody in the world has ever had before, I'm going to ask you some questions that, I'm going to ask you just a couple questions that nobody's ever asked before. Just a couple, because I think we need to save these for an actual guest.
Do you mean that no one's ever asked me before, or questions
nobody's
ever
asked
anyone?
Just 100 questions no one ever asks.
Oh, I see. What that is to say is it's not very likely or common to hear these questions.
Yeah, which, some of these, like specifically one of these, the only way I could ask you this question is if I have never seen you before. Do you have freckles?
I don't believe so.
Nobody's ever asked that before.
Well, because if someone has freckles, you would see them, so there's no point in asking.
Yeah, true.
I mean, look at my face.
Something you'd ask somebody.
Hold on.
Are you looking to see if you have freckles?
Look at my face. That's all I can zoom in.
Oh, I mean, you could lean in closer.
This is a very bad look.
I have freckles. A little bit.
Do you?
Yeah, but I don't have those big, crazy, blotchy redhead freckles. Thank goodness. Like, these are weird. Some of these are like.
I wonder if a lot of them are sort of like that, where it's like, do you have a nose? Like, you wouldn't ask that because you can see that.
Like, do you always smile for pictures?
No, I actually rarely do.
Same. Yeah. I rarely smile for photos.
Just to continue on with the live updates, still no response on the yeah, nothing. I will chime in if something comes through, but for those that were wondering, nothing has come through yet.
You might just have to hit him up with another statement like, I love the taste of human flesh.
Yeah.
I assume you're human, that is.
That would probably be met with a, what do you mean?
Sean,
yes,
what
Matt?
do you dip a chicken nugget in?
I personally dip a chicken nugget in barbecue sauce.
Very nice.
Some people I know like honey mustard.
Do you ever sway differently from barbecue? Is it always barbecue sauce?
Yes, it is. I never sway. I've had chicken in other sauces, but
have you ever seen somebody dip chicken nuggets in ketchup?
Yes.
It's fucking disgusting.
My son has done that.
Your son's fucking disgusting. Put him back out in the yard.
Well, that's where all the ketchup is. So you win. It's a lose-lose situation.
I suppose so.
But I've had chicken in other, like I've had sweet and sour chicken. I've had sesame chicken. I've had Parmesan garlic wings. I've had, a bunch of different spicy wings.
Dipped in a.
Fair enough, but you can get those sauces on the side if you choose instead.
Do you ever go to Chick-fil-A and use the Chick-fil-A sauce?
I have. What is in that?
I don't exactly know, but it's very tasty.
What about the Arby's sauce at Arby's? Although I don't think I've ever gotten chicken nuggets from Arby's.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Yeah, so never mind. Scratch that. But I do dip the curly fries in the Arby's sauce.
Gotcha. How about Raising Cane's? You ever go to Raising Cane's and get cane sauce?
I've gone there once.
Did you?
It was okay. I
like
probably did. I probably did. I don't remember specifically what kind of sauce I had. I guess now we're gonna
strips. I guess than nuggets, though.
Are these all questions that no one ever asks?
No, I was just trying to hit up what other have you tried other sauces besides barbecue? That was a personal thing for me.
That was your own addition. Your own little thrown in question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we intend to really dive deep into this list when we have someone on next time. Yeah. Not someone as in we have someone in mind, but just the next time we have a guest and we feel like asking these hard-hitting questions.
Were you ever a Boy/Girl Scout?
I was not, but a fellow by the name of Justin Brzezinski, if you remember that fella, he went on for a while insisting that I was in either Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts, whichever one it was, I forget. He was insisting that I was in that with him. And I was very adamant in saying, no, I wasn't. I would know. I've never partaken in any of those things. So I'm not sure who it was that he thought was me. Or
do you feel like you maybe just suppressed those memories?
No.
I feel like there's a lot from your childhood you may have suppressed or you may want to suppress.
I don't know that something like Cub Scouts would have been one of them.
You're like, that would have been actually a happy escape.
Probably. I mean, I remember visiting that Camp Courage when you're in whatever grade. Did you do that too?
No, we did. In 6th grade, we went up to Wolf Ridge.
Okay, we went to Camp Courage for a couple days, and you slept in bunks or in like little cabins and stuff.
And Wolf Ridge.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't know if it was a week, but I remember the biggest crazy thing we did there, and I'm not sure if they did this at Wolf Ridge too, but they would weigh the amount of food we were throwing away.
Oh, really?
After a meal. And because we wanted to try to stay below a certain amount, we didn't want to throw away too much food. But there was a day that they served tapioca pudding.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, oh boy, did we tip the scales on that day.
I imagine,
Nobody ate that stuff. It was all in the trash. And it was an alarming number.
Like,
I'm going to ask.
Who's eating tapioca puddings these days?
So you went to Rogers School.
I sure did.
Or no. So I went to, and I know that Snooze will be able to attest to this, and so will Bearcat or Eric, however we've addressed him on this show. In the lunchroom at Zimmerman Elementary, I'm not sure if it's still the case, there was a stop, like a traffic light.
Okay.
In the lunchroom. And it must have been hooked up to some kind of switch or button system that somebody was manning during lunch period. But it was meant to monitor or temper the sound level of all the kids. So do you have have you heard of this?
I think we had something similar to this, yeah.
Okay, so maybe this is more common than because when I went to, because I switched, Matt, you know this, but for those who don't, I switched elementary schools after 3rd grade because they built a new one that was closer to my house. Anyway, that one did not have a traffic light.
You guys could be as loud as you wanted.
Oh, yeah, and we were. And we also were destructive and damaged property, and we could stab other kids, and they didn't care at all what we did during lunch period. Awesome. During class, there were different rules.
Always a bunch of stoplights.
Yeah, a bunch of stoplights everywhere. You open up your locker, there's a stoplight. Like, you opened your locker too loud, there's another demerit. Please see. No, so I'm curious to see how common this was now, because if you had something similar in your school, then maybe
I'm sure now they probably just have it like hooked up to an actual microphone that like picks up the noise level, gets us above a certain decibel.
That could be what it was.
I doubt it was then. I think then it was just a teacher was probably getting annoyed with how loud it was, so they just flicked it to red, get everybody to shut up.
Yeah, so I'll finish describing for those who haven't experienced this. When we started to get a little loud, it would switch up to a yellow light, and then we knew to quiet down a little bit and keep it green. If we happened to ignore that and it went all the way up to a red light, that meant that, I forget the time, like the length of time, but everyone in the lunchroom had to remain completely quiet for, let's say it was 5 minutes or something. So there was one time that the light turned red, and we were all sitting there very quietly, and then my friend who was sitting next to me starts talking to me about and asking me questions. Something like, do you think we're going to get to go to recess? Or he was just asking me like questions like that. And I said, hey, be quiet. We're going to get in trouble. And, during the quiet period, obviously someone's walking around going,
right,
checking.
Making sure nobody's whispering and shit.
So someone saw me telling my friend to be quiet, and then I got in trouble. And I had to sit back. Wow. If you got caught talking during the silent period, you then had to sit at a certain table in the lunchroom after lunch period was over while everyone else went to recess. And so my friend who was talking to me got to go out to recess, and I was stuck in the lunchroom being punished because I was just trying to have that kid stop talking to me because I didn't want us to get in trouble for talking during that time.
But yet you suppressed the memory of being in Boy Scouts, but you kept. I know.
Why did I keep
that memory?
Yeah. Why did I hang on to that? And it's weird that I got there from Camp Courage, but those were both lunch things I was talking about: the tapioca pudding, and then the traffic light. Yeah. No traffic light at Camp Courage, and no scale for weighing food waste at my elementary school.
No, because I don't care. You paid for your meal. They don't.
Yeah, they got their money.
Throw away. They got their money's worth.
They got their dirty money.
Yeah.
I grumble and growl.
You ever cried because you were so happy?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Have you?
Probably.
Well.
Yeah. I mean.
Well, then I
could specifically say like.
I could say
so
maybe
I get weird
for myself.
I get weird sometimes. You know what? I will say yes, but not necessarily for my own happiness. So,
okay,
I'm a pretty like
soulless robot.
I would say like emotionally, like I shut down a lot. I just kind of keep my shit bottled in a lot.
Very healthy.
I don't know if that's a white thing. I don't know if that's an Irish thing or a German thing. Whatever. It's a thing.
Irish thing all the way. Irish thing.
It's an Irish thing.
So
I keep my shit pretty bottled up and to myself a lot. Every once in a while, I will just get on this. I'll just go on YouTube and I'll just find like heartwarming videos of like people doing like acts of kindness or like just weird shit like that, or like people like people winning something and just being like super like happy, life-changing shit. And I'll just fucking watch that shit and just let the tears just fly. I'm just like, and then I'm like, all right, I'm good for a while. I can let it bottle back up for a while now. I'll let all that anger just build up, and then every once in a while I'll just let it all go. And be like, all right, cool. I won't have to punch anybody today.
This is a great opportunity to throw to our sponsor for this week, BetterHelp.
You have no idea how many times I've looked at those ads and been like, I should probably look into that.
Well, the funny thing is, you need to be going into it going like this. I am willing to.
And that's my problem. Yeah, that's my problem is my biggest thing with my shit, my emotional garbage is finally getting to the point where I can admit to myself that I do I can't just fix it myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my whole thing still is just like, you know what? I know what I have to do. I know what I could do to make things better, but I'm not actively doing that.
Well, at least
eventually I'll just completely collapse and just be like, all right,
at least the first step is admitting you have a problem, and so you're already further along than some people. Here's what's weird.
I've gotten to the point where it's weird though, because I feel like I've bypassed a bunch of steps and I've just gone to the acceptance part of it. I'm just like, hey, I'm screwed up.
That's
I'm
how I am.
That's just the way I am. Just the way things are.
Here's a strange thing about me. So I watch a lot of people reacting to things, be it music, be it movies, TV stuff. That's basically
comedy routines, shit like that. Sometimes
stand-up stuff. Yeah,
stand-up bits.
I will watch a movie on my own, and if the movie happens to have like a very emotional scene or some sort of very heartbreaking moment or something like that, I'll shut it off and I'll throw that VHS out the window.
That movie.
No, it doesn't. I'll just watch it and go, oh, maybe I'll think like that's a sad thing. Yeah. But I don't. It's never got. I've never like welled up or been like, oh, and I've never.
I get sappy as shit with movies. Holy fuck.
Well, hold on.
Okay, we're getting there.
If I'm watching that again, if I'm watching someone watch a movie, and then I see the emotional part come up, and they start getting emotional, that's what gets me emotional for some reason.
Oh, I feel that too.
I don't know why. I'm like, I'll see this part, and I'm like, someone is watching it and getting really upset, and then I start getting upset. But then I'll go and watch that same movie, and it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is.
I'm trying to think. See, the crazy thing for me, too, is like, I'll watch a movie that has like a really emotional scene in it, and then I'll be like, oh my God, like that was so good, and like it made me tear up and stuff. And then I'll be explaining that to somebody else, and I will fucking just like start bawling explaining the scene. Like for instance, like what was it? I think I did it with God, I want to say I did it with not the newest Ghostbusters, but the one that just came out a few years ago.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, and I was explaining like the end of the movie, and I like was losing my shit trying to explain it.
Wow.
There was a movie. Yeah, there was a movie I watched recently. I did the same thing where I was like trying to re-explain what like happened, and it just I couldn't even get it out.
Huh.
Oh, you know what's okay? I just remembered though. So, and this is crazy. For whatever reason, we decided to watch the movie Philadelphia recently.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So I realized as I was watching it, like I knew the movie, right? I know what the movie's about, everything. I realized as I was watching, like, I actually have never watched this movie.
Oh.
Like, I had never actually watched it from beginning to end before. Like, I knew what it was fully about. I knew everything about the movie. I just never had watched it.
I don't think I've actually watched it either. I think I've seen clips, like, in a class or something, but I've never watched it.
So, yeah, we actually watched it, and then, the end of the movie is very sad. And I was just like, okay. And I was just kind of like, I was getting emotional at the end of the movie and stuff. And then, and then Iman like started talking to me, and I just fucking lost it. Cause what sucked was like, I started to, cause I think a couple years after that movie came out, we actually had lost somebody to AIDS a couple years after that. And it was just like all those things about that movie, like one of the last scenes in the movie is you see Tom Hanks' character in the hospital about to die. Yeah. And I just got into my head of just like, oh, the last time I saw that person alive was in the hospital just before they died. And it just like everything just flooded in. And like, I don't think I ever like actually fully like
Like mourned?
Felt all my emotions about that, because it happened when I was like, I think it was 95. So I was like,
so you're 12, like 13
years old.
12, yeah.
So it's like, I was sad at the time, but I don't think I ever really like processed like, oh yeah, like that's pretty much exactly how it was. And like, holy shit. Like, I lost my shit right after that. And I'm like, well, and she was like, I'm so sorry we watched this. And I'm like, no, like I'm glad we watched it. But it was just like, I was not expecting to like have that emotional like release after watching that movie. I'm just like, holy shit. So that was my most recent one. What was the question?
I don't even
have you ever
remember.
cried because you were so happy?
Oh,
well,
yeah.
That's not quite the answer then, is it?
No, but you cried when you were sad. And
I've cried a lot of times when I was sad, but I do happy cry, but not based on my happiness, based on other people's happiness.
I will say that there have been some times where I've seen someone like they won something that changed their life type of a thing, and I have gotten like because you could tell, like you could see it in their face, like they're crying happy and they're like, my life is going to be forever different. I'm not going to have to struggle anymore. Like this is going to be.
Have you watched like America's Got Talent or like X Factor clips of like people like, doing super awesome, and then they like hit that golden buzzer or whatever, and they're just like, oh my god, it's like that shit's just like, oh, it's so fucking cool.
I know. It's
really cool to see other people's happiness when you can't find your own.
When is someone going to hit my golden buzzer?
Yeah, when's somebody going to shower me with
confetti on TV?
Gold and confetti.
When's going to what? You want a golden shower?
Here's a question nobody's ever asked before, Sean.
Hands in the air.
Do you have kids?
I do. Well, actually, I should say no. I don't.
You don't have kids?
Because the question is plural. Kids are plural in the question. I have kid.
Okay. Well, follow up. Do you want kids?
Oh. Now I
actually love that as a follow up question to, do you have kids? And somebody's like, yeah. I'm like, well, do you want kids?
Do you want them? Yeah. That's a great follow up question if the answer is yes.
Yep.
I would say
these questions are stupid because they're all questions people would ask.
Well, let me. So as far for anyone, I guess anyone interested, I have one kid. I am not out there to have like I'm not
interested to take him off my hands.
Yes, I have one kid. If you've always wanted one, who wants a 12-year-old boy?
Take my wife, please. Take her.
No, so it's not necessarily a goal of mine to have more.
Yeah,
but I do feel like if I were to fall in love and get married again,
God forbid,
then and that person really wants to have children, then I would be open to having more children for that person. But if it ends up being where it's just Leo, my son, I'm fine. I'm totally fine with just having the one. So I always like
to think of the fact that I always like to pretend that you named your son after my Renaissance character's name, which weirdly enough,
technically, chronologically,
yes,
I did.
No. Well, it's kind of yes and kind of no, right? Because didn't the name pretty much kind of come from Ninja Turtles? Was that kind of the
no?
There was more to it than that.
Well, so we were just tossing around name ideas and just trying to think of one, and we were in the car. I remember specifically we were driving home from somewhere. I think maybe it was even like a doctor visit, and
you're like, Dr. Leo was a great guy.
Whoa, what? Dr. Leo Paul? No, Sarah just said, well, what about? She just kind of threw it out there as a random suggestion.
Yeah.
Oh, what about Leo as a name? And we're like, huh. I was like, you know what? I like that. And I said, hey, my favorite Ninja Turtle was always Leonardo. Why don't we go with Leonardo? So the full name Leonardo was kind of
So it was like
based on
derivative.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
But the Leo part was not connected to that.
Because, yeah, my Renaissance name was straight up.
Yeah. Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo,
Raphael was my Renaissance character's
stage name. Yeah.
I loved it. Because it needed to be Italian. It needed to be an Italian name. So I'm like, oh, what about Leonardo? I'm like, that would kind of work. And they're like, yeah, like Leonardo's good or whatever. I'm like, oh, what about? And I just spit it out. Like, what about Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael? And you can say it really fast. And that's how I'd introduce myself to people out there. And everybody's like, oh, it's awesome.
If you ever pursued stand-up or something, I think that should be your name.
That'd be my stand-up name, my stage name.
Your stage name.
Just straight up do the whole, like, my actual Renaissance character is my stage persona.
Sure.
As well.
You can wear that silly costume every time you do stand-up too.
Oh, that'd be weird. And I just do very old-timey jokes.
Yeah, they're very,
oh, doesn't it suck shitting in a hole?
Huzzah! 20 pounds for the king.
Groom with a stool.
Who has cancer right now?
What?
King Charles.
That king? Yeah.
Yeah. What other king is there?
He isn't long for the world. Well, King Louis, of course. I don't know.
Not that I have any sympathy for the royal family and the breaks they have, because,
poor dude doesn't get to reign for very long.
That's the thing. It's like, oh my gosh, his mom just lived for so long, and he
was waiting forever to take the throne, and it's like cancer.
I'm like, come on, dude, that is not fair. I don't care how well off you are or what kind of silver spoon you were born within your mouth, but it's like, that kind of sucks. I mean, cancer in general, a diagnosis of that in general sucks, but just to be like, finally, it's my throne.
Well, I mean, the thing too is he was already so old, so there's no way he was ever going to reign any sort of length of time she did.
No, so, but it's just like
he already knew it was going to be a much shorter reign than what his mother took. But yeah,
she was the longest reigning, correct?
So. I believe
by a good margin. I think.
I mean, by that time, it's not like people aren't attacking the fucking castle and shit anymore.
Yeah, and
you're not overthrowing the government, because they were figureheads more than anything. They weren't making laws or actually ruling the land anymore. They were just
it's all pageantry. It's all pageantry. There's no, I don't know what, if any, power the royal family has. It's just a novelty at this point.
Yeah, very little, if any.
What a novelty, because why is there still a family that's just born into this?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy to me. I think it should be done away with, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
But
they're still the lineage of the original royal family, so it's just,
I know, but shouldn't nothing matter. It shouldn't matter.
I don't think it should either. I think it's just it's just tabloid fucking bullshit. It's just headlines. It's no different than fucking the many different fucking royalties of the United States, which is all this celebrity bullshit. Yep.
I'm not going to name names. I don't want to give them any more attention and power that they already have.
Everybody knows who they are.
Well, what an exhilarating time we've had this evening.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm exhilarated.
I'm exhausted.
Those are, again, you should seek help
for my exhaustion.
For anything, and exhilarating is a positive thing, and we went through the same exact thing, and you're feeling exhausted from it. You're having a much more pessimistic, negative attitude about it.
I'm a glass half kind of guy.
I'm a glass half broken.
I don't think a glass can be half broken.
I don't think what you said can happen either.
Just a glass half?
Yeah. Unless you have something where half of it is glass.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the glass half kind of guy, where, this sword is half made of wood and half made of glass. The handle is made of glass, of course. I mean, how useless would a glass blade be?
About as useless as a wood blade. I'd say a glass blade is probably more useful than a wood blade.
Look, it's for training. It's not for real sword fighting. It's for training.
Oh, I mean, they have swords for that.
Yeah, made of wood.
No, I mean, they have swords that are made of actual sword material that are not used for sword fighting. They're just used for sword training.
Sword material?
Yeah.
You can't just say metal.
I can. I didn't.
But sword material is too vague. Oopsie daisy. Because sword material, if you had a sword that's made of wood, that sword is technically also made of sword material. Because there are wood swords. They exist. You can have a plastic sword. That means the plastic used to make that sword is sword material. There are foam swords. My son has 2 giant, foam Nerf swords. And that material used to make those swords is sword material. So it was very, very, very stupid of you to say that.
This isn't helping my psyche.
I'm trying to help you get pushed over the edge so you see.
You're trying to push me over the edge? You're trying to kill me?
I'm trying to get you pushed over the edge emotionally so that you seek help from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Just go to betterhelp.com and you'll easily get matched up with a licensed therapist. And you know what? It's so easy to switch if the...
You're not willing to mention shitty celebrities in our country, but you're willing to give free advertisement to good, legitimate companies.
Look, I'm working with the odds here. What do you think our odds are better at getting? So if I mention a company
we mention BetterHelp enough, maybe they'll actually sponsor an episode.
Well, what I'm saying is there's a better chance of that than there is of me mentioning a celebrity's name and that celebrity sending us a bunch of money.
Oh, that's not expected at all. I'd be more so you mentioning a celebrity enough that they eventually just come on the show.
No, I would expect more that they would send a cease and desist letter.
I think it'd be fun to see if we can mention somebody enough times that they'll eventually just come on.
Look, you wouldn't let me list the Jackie Chan movies. What do you think I've been trying to do here?
Listing a bunch of movies somebody was in is not the same as mentioning the person a bunch of times, though we have mentioned Jackie Chan's name a lot in this episode.
Yeah, what person you mean? Jackie Chan?
Can we literally say featuring Jackie Chan at this point?
Since we talked about him, it's kind of like we can.
I mean, we featured him in the episode.
We did.
I don't think we can actually get away with it.
You know who we featured more, though? Jet Li.
I think we featured them both fairly equally.
Yeah, maybe...
I mean, we talked about spiders and octopus way more.
Yeah, but not specific ones. Except Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
So...
Unfortunately, she's fictional.
Can we say featuring Jackie Chan, Jet Li, and Gwen Stacy?
Probably not.
You also mentioned Donald Trump.
Definitely not.
I mentioned the Police. And Rosie.
The band?
No, the one member of the Village People. He's called the Police. And the one guy is called the Construction Workers.
Kind of like The Edge and U2.
Yeah.
The stupidest name. I'm The Edge.
Go
Edge. Fuck yourself, U2.
Well, when the singer of your band decides to go by Bono, I cannot stand U2. I hate them. I hate that band so much.
Yeah. I'm very much a glass fully empty with U2.
I'm a glass fully broken.
Yeah.
You too?
Oh, I'm going to have to edit that out. See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday, promptly.
Bye.
If you have a question, complaint, or threat for Sean or Matt, you can reach us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X, or Instagram at HSFamousPod, or you can email the show at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. No animals were pleasured during the making of this podcast, despite our best efforts. All hail our Lord and Savior.
They can't even get through one whole song because of this clumsy octopus.